welcome to Heavy Podcast, heaviest podcast in the world. I'm Jake Summers.
My name's Liam Noel. Obviously this podcast is sort of like to show a few things. Obviously we own exclusive parties in all different cities, you know, from like London to Liverpool, now Southport, you know, Chester, might be fair, Marbella, now Dubai, which is another thing we're going to talk about. So yeah, it's going off.
We're trying to get this episode across to educate people about our journey, the events industry in general, and just a few other topics that are a bit close to me and Liam that we're both passionate about. So hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Just remember to like and subscribe. Welcome everyone to Heavy Podcast, heaviest podcast in the world. It's our first episode. This is introduce ourselves. I'm Jake Summers.
Liam Noel.
We both own a business called Ombre Exclusive Parties. I'm not too sure if you've heard of it. We've done numerous parties all around the country and the world, to be honest, lad, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's been a bit of a journey,
innit? Yeah, we've been doing where have we done? We started Liverpool. First few parties in Liverpool, Newcastle and Glasgow, weren't they?
Yeah, Dublin as well. Shout out to Dublin people, by the way.
Dublin, man. Love the Irish, lad. Love the Irish. And then we carried on. We've now even expanded even more and potentially doing Dubai next week.
Shout out to T-Trade, by the way.
Yeah, T-Trade, the crypto queen, man. She's our sponsor. As you can probably tell by the name of this video, it's in we haven't bought the Sheik's yacht, obviously. Our sponsor, Tyler said she's T-Trade. Obviously, go onto her page, check her out. We're doing some big things together.
Call her the queen, don't we?
Yeah. Big project we're going to be doing with a lot queen. More coming soon, innit, lads?
Yeah, a lot. Coming soon, pending. Yeah. Working on a few things,
you'll be seeing this after we first drop it. This is what's going to be next after it as well. And Marbella, the summer, lads, so a lot's happening. Happening.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, so the reason really we're doing this, we've obviously got a lot of passions, haven't we, lad? Like, very,
a lot of addictions.
People would describe us, lads. What would you say describes that? Fucking energetic kids, aren't we?
Energetic, good vibes. That's what we want to sort of show, like, people out what we're about and spread positive vibes. I feel like a lot of people now are like, you know, they're too negative. I know people want to do things and stuff, and obviously we just want to spread that love and show people that people can go rock bottom and come back, you know, basically call it bounce back, do you know what I mean? That's something that we're driven by.
Perseverance, and we know that more than anyone, really. Obviously a lot's happened to us in the past few years. We'll get on to it obviously in a bit later, but definitely. And a few things we're passionate about. We're obviously passionate about music, and that's why we do what we do, parties and that. Obviously all types of music, varieties, as you know.
Anything really, isn't it? Going back to fucking like D-Block, you know, them type of people. Like, it doesn't really matter what type of music it is. It's just if it's music, it's music.
It's vibes.
It's all about the vibes. Like, Ombre's all about the vibes. Anyone that hasn't been, get down there. You know, this is why we've went down this route now where, you know, we've done so many events over, 28 events in 2 years.
You know, one of the things with me, like what I get the biggest buzz off as well, and what I always do, really, like when I'm in events, like, I always ask people, because you know, when we're in our parties and that, like, obviously we do them in a lot of areas where people don't really know about, and we, obviously a lot of people don't even know where we are or where that's our party, like, so we're going to London, Essex, so people don't really know where we are. I'm going to these parties, and I'll just speak to people, I'll just say to you, I'll just ask them, I'll go like, are you having a good night? And obviously you don't have a clue if it's my event, and I go, yeah, it's Sheik, and I love it, and I love it to that reaction where people are like, I've had a Sheik night, like, that gives me fulfillment, you know. I love it, and people say they've had a Sheik night, that my night, like, it's fucking.
We sort of lost that a little bit though, didn't we? At one point, like, we were saying to each other, like, obviously we had to do what we had to do and stuff like that, and we've done that many parties, and that's the reason why the brand is to like where it is today, like, even being locked down and sacrifice and doing that many parties, and we still, you know, our level where we want to get to, we want to create, you know, more like bigger events, more experiences where when you're only doing a shorter notice, like once a month, where, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I don't regret doing it. I feel like it was the best.
It's got us on the map.
Yeah, exactly, on the map, and that's why, you know, the experiences were worth it. And it's obviously this year we now want to sort of give back as well.
Yeah,
we sort of want to give back, don't we? Want to give back that big party for people, 1,000 people in the next party on the 30th of April.
That's a big thing.
It's like normally like the smaller parties are like, people don't think they can come when they can come, and now it's just like we're gaining access for like people who are really into the music. Want to sort of give back so people can have a good time. Like this party's going to be one of the biggest parties we've ever done.
I don't know if anyone's seen about it as well. Like obviously we announced
it's a big one. It's a big one.
On Thursday, I think.
Got some good DJs as well. By the way, shout out to all you lot as well.
Man up Eldon, Tom Nolan, Josh Newson, Tom Eaton, DJ Lucy Louise, Ashley Dean,
that's everyone,
Bazo, Costello, big people, and they haven't even seen.
It's just one of those things.
You haven't even seen
it's just one of those things.
You haven't even seen the headliner though, blowing on it.
Yeah, the headliner. If I get told about the headliner, I'll probably tell you, but I don't want to tell you. So
people's heads are gonna fall off when they see that headliner.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even this. We also like brands in Liverpool. Like we want people to do well, and obviously we're all. It's a great city, and obviously now with the opportunity that we've got with this next platform, we can create like bigger spaces for our brands getting involved, and it can just be a really good year for everyone, because the past 2 years, in my eyes, it's been very hard. It might look like it's been going well, but everyone knows the bigger picture. It's been hard on the smaller brands and the up and coming brands, and like we had everything, didn't we, lad? And before we were going that way, and then as soon as COVID hit and the pandemic,
wouldn't change it though, bro.
No, you wouldn't change it. That's why we are the people. That's why we're here today,
Exactly, like that lockdown, man. Jesus,
change. Like I thought I'd never be doing something like this. Do you know what I mean?
Madness. That's what I'm saying, man. As like so if people only obviously know a bit of our story, that's what we're doing this for, really, isn't it? Just to give people a bit of an insight into like our path and journey.
Got the advert on Thursday as well. That'll be fun.
But basically, lads, obviously we started it off. We cut.
Might be a little bit closer.
We had a big big summer in Ibiza, weren't it, lads? Like obviously you had it a bit bigger than mine. Like I mean, I started the Sheik one, but you were on a bit of another level.
Was this the year when we created
2019? Just before, give a bit of an insight on some of the things you were doing there, then, lad. Like, what?
I was just single, and I just got out of a relationship and just thought, going into nearly being a mental nurse, but like still promoting, and the next minute you're in this lifestyle and like.
Like name some of the shit you were up to. Like let's lay on.
Just in like the most expensive tables, going to like 3 different beach clubs in a day, doing it's just you're on a mad journey. But however, having that investment on a lifestyle is also sometimes worth it. Like, you get out of that dark moment when you've lost everything over there, and you've had that good time. But it's like, I've got friends for life from there as well, and like people who actually, can see what type of person you are and where you want to get to, because we've always been doing that lifestyle. We've always been hungry to get to that next level. Where,
like, I mean, when you were on them tables, like, obviously, when you're saying that, like, obviously, I know everyone probably has this perception of us, like, tables stuck up with, like, anyone who has never been to our party, like,
they know what we are, aren't we, really?
Doesn't have a clue, because it's never like that at all, really. Like, it's everyone stood up, it's kicking, so, but, like, what we mean with them tables is, like, the amount of networking you actually do on there, like, as you know where to...
people know we're still the party. I feel like obviously
we just been with some Bootle blowing on it, and then when you're on a table in Ibiza...
Shout out to Bootle.
And the Bootles. And when you're around this type of lifestyle, lad, it's unheard of by ours, lad, you know what I mean? It's like, it opens your eyes to things and makes you realise there's so much more
and
out
people
there.
think you're doing so well all the time, and that's another thing as well. Whenever you see on that Instagram and stuff like that, it's like, I get people get like, certain perspective, you got to put certain things on there, but people are doing well and this and that, but just be in your own lane and just whatever you want to do, like take things from other people, but just stay focused on what you're like properly doing.
Yeah, it's like what like your own, like obviously, like it's nothing's original really, like someone's always done something first.
Well, all scouts have done the same. I've still got me 110s on, like
even ideas like business ideas, like no one's like everyone's sort of always like just done it in their own way. So it's like it's about doing things in your own way, which suit your self-knowledge in my eyes. That is the biggest thing. Like understanding who you are as a person and like the type of things that like make you and what make you happy.
That's what lockdown done really, didn't it? So I think it was that awakening a little bit. We've always been like, this is going on to another thing as well, where when you're living that fast life and you're going everywhere and you're seeing everywhere and obviously when you go back to the reality and then you've got so much planned, you know, actually trying to make something out of it, and then the next minute COVID hit and everything again was just took away. But that like lockdown, we took advantage of like
we haven't even got using like COVID.
No, not even that though. Like this is another network that was created through lockdown. No one was really doing podcasts because people locked down. That's what created for us to get onto a new market as well, and a new platform. Do you know what I mean? It's what we want to be doing on a personal level. It's nothing to do with business. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I feel like lockdown got us into, like our like working our minds, getting creative, but looking after our bodies a little bit more as well. Obviously we had certain stages to maybe having that spiritual awakening.
Yeah, we'll paint the picture to people and then that properly so people understand it.
You're the organised one, aren't you?
So we'll paint this picture to people properly and like, so yeah, obviously we're flying, lad, doing events here, left, right and centre, things are flying out and that, lad. Got things planned and
big year, by the way, 2022 taking over.
And like, even though this was like 2020, this had 2019, 2020, everything was flying, and then all of a sudden, like, the world's just shut down, innit, lad? And it's like that is our whole money, lad. Like, that it was literally, we invested our life into that, lad, do you know what I mean? Like, we thought, right, we know this is gonna work hard, Jim, like, this is what we're doing, and then all of a sudden, lad, March, lad, the whole world shut, like just literally taken away for nothing.
It was us and seagulls in town, and no one else couldn't believe it.
Going from like out 4 times a weekend, literally, because we were living in town, we were going out 4 times a weekend, lad, every week near enough, to go into literally teetotal the whole lockdown, lad, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we was, maybe. We like,
lads, I didn't have a baby, bro.
How long was that?
The first one was the rooftop in Rude. That's the first time we had a baby.
Since you were about March. Probably since before, like when we were age of 13. We've been on bender since we were 13.
That lockdown party when you collapsed.
There's been a few times on the live stream. Yeah, there's certain issues that I had at the time, like, you know, there's probably all these IP heads know about Jeeps. It's a very dangerous drug. No one do that. Just recommending it to anyone. You might have them good, like, you know, scenes on there, but it's definitely not worth being unconscious on your own live stream. And, you know, don't get me wrong.
We've done a live stream as well, didn't we?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not ruling it out in the future or nothing like that.
Let's paint a bit of context that, lads, because we were doing a live stream, weren't we? Because it was like a bit of an idea, because obviously lockdown, we lost all our jobs, we had to sort of,
that's how we built the platform, by networking with, like, people doing live streams, and, like, you know, obviously shout out to Gabby Allen again, like, she's someone who set that platform. Amanda Harrington, there's a few there where everyone's trying to, like,
we had a lot of good
just thinking outside the box now. Like, we were trying to think, how do we going to get these interactions? Everyone's alone, there's no events, so, like, so we started doing, like, these Zooms, and it weren't very properly, like, us at the time. It was just something that we sort of wanted to do to see where it was. Yeah, we had a lot of good people who support us, and it's like, it's boss to see, like, you know what I mean, who actually support the brand. Everyone supports. That's what I'm saying. No, it's boss to see these people like that, lad, who were doing it off their own back, you know, like Gabby did, lad, so Amanda, like, they're doing these things off their own backs, lad. Yeah, defo. Obviously, most people. That's just a small thing, you know. Exactly, lads, but yeah, lad, we had to just get proper creative, lad, and fucking, we done a live stream one night, and my man had a few issues and ended up collapsing. I don't even remember it, to be fair, yeah, it was just one of those things, like, I just remember having it, and then I remember seeing you on the floor, and this isn't the first time, and then this isn't the first time. No, there's another time. There's another time. I think it was like, you know, I was with a few of the lads and I beef at the time that year when it was just that mad year, and then I remember just like Salado, me lad in the bog with you, Salado and Hyde. No, this was after this. When Hyde, so unconscious lad fell over the front table. Like, I get carried out, lad, and then Mick Willow was coming to like run all the way past High. I was in tinfoil and then just got straight back out there, lad, and didn't get home till like 2 days later. So I was just on a big mad one, lad, but I was literally, the fella just said, I went right from the second. Like, each way, the high tables are there, 1, 2. I was on number 2, fell straight over. This was all the time. It's even just like crashing my mate's car, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was there again, you know, being there. Stories about that. We'll discuss that on another time, but that just goes off. And that's why everyone knows, well, by the way, we've got 3 episodes coming. We're just going to sort of introduce ourselves and the brand and our journey and what we've been through, and then we're going to start getting special guests. Yeah, a few fucking sexy ones. Nah, just people who were just like, you know, being on journeys themselves. Like, there's loads of people from even like beef lad who were like doing so well for themselves and probably not like getting the applause that they need in a way. It's just nice to see someone go from that to that. And it's like, you know, they worked hard for it, and a lot of these people normal down to it. Just normal down to it people, but a lot of this, like, governments and papers and all this sort of stuff, just so negative, and that's why we just watch YouTube all the time, because, like, the news is a negative environment, you know what I mean? And no one really talks about what's getting put on the news. Like, don't watch the news in the morning, and you'll see the difference in your life. Yeah, no, you know I think the credibility in fucking journalism stuff. I seen Russell Brand do a quote, and he said the
the trust of journalism back in the 70s was 70%. It's now 32%. So 30% of the population.
Someone come in my room today and said I want to do this.
Right, these platforms like this where people can be real lads and just sort of like tell real stories and like, do you know what I mean? And like, it resonates. I'm a big podcast myself, and this is probably both are, but this is the reason why.
This is all we do every time we go home. Obviously, if you're not doing ombre, and obviously we both got normal jobs as well. And I've had me really obviously through lockdown, we never. But this is the reality of it, you know.
But lad, that's what I'm saying. It's one of them things, lad. Like you got it. And this is another thing what I want to sort of help people out with, lad. Like, yeah, it looks like we are doing great on the outside, which we are, lad. We've got big plans.
2022 is a big year.
Smashing it, but
loads
like,
of blessings.
do you never ever feel bad that you've got to take a job while you're working on your fucking side also, lads? You know what I mean? Do you never think you're embarrassed or that you can't, you're too good enough to take a job when you're working on your hustle?
Multiple incomes, and I know the projects come with it, and you enjoy the journey a lot more as well.
You can invest all that money that you earn from your job into an investment such as, e.g., crypto, T-trades again.
That's another thing we discuss as well in like the further thing. Like we obviously all we do is crypto as well. Like, you know, we're involved and want to like be more a part of it and certain projects and that. And like a lot of people are doing it now. It's nice seeing.
There's a lot of fake. I can understand. Probably a lot of people think it's a lot of fake out there, but trust me, in a few years, like. I've been reading books like I'm a person who reads intelligent books, you know what I mean? I don't see me. But
he is.
And lad, I've been reading this book, Ray Dalio, multi-billionaire investor, one of the biggest investors in the world.
Nice.
And it's called The New World Changing Order. And he basically said there's every civilization as an economic crash and a period of prosperity. And at this moment, we're going for it. And then after every crash, there's always a change in technology.
And the Great Depression.
So like money's changed already from 1950 to 1970 to like used to be the gold standard, and then do you know what I mean? Don't want to get into too boring, but basically money is changing. Like it will change soon. So like I'm not advising you. I'm not a financial advisor. By the way,
this is enough. We need to say we watch them all the time. We're not a financial advisor. By the way,
all I'm saying is come back to me in 10 years. That's all I'm saying. And then we'll have this conversation.
When you want to say it to you, like get on it now. Like obviously, I don't want you to come back to us in 10 years. I want you to do it because like come to us. We've got people there. Like there's people around the world. You wanna help out in this crypto. I know it's all mad, and obviously you can read books and this and that. But there's other avenues. Do you know what I mean? That you can go down. Like since you know, before that New Year's Eve event, after I spoke to you, I've had that little, you know, 30-day celibate, like celibate, and it's
yeah, my man, hey, give him a round of applause there, lad.
Nah, like on a serious one, it's like concentrating on investments, assets, crypto. But it's never been like that. It's always just been like 2 years just living. But to be honest, before that, I was always just like lifestyle, cars. Always being on my own journey. Do you know what I mean? Always wanted, even with ombre, always wanted that end goal with ombre. Never want that lifestyle, but you get caught up in what type of car you've got. Not even what car you've got.
A lot of people are just the generations
what the generation's for, but simply like I'm not bothered the way that is. I just want people to understand, and I just want to give back. You know what I mean? That's another big thing. Not saying that's the end goal.
But I feel like know what that comes from, lad. When you're actually going on a path and a journey, and it takes sacrifice and
100%.
Going low. So like if you're just in that rat race of chasing money, lad, you're gonna be in it all your life, and you're not constantly gonna be wanting the next car. Like you can get the heaviest car, and I guarantee you after a month you'll be bored.
Yeah, it happens. We'll be in them Lambos, won't we? After a week, I'm gonna give them back.
Yeah, we haven't even got onto that yet. We'll get onto that in a bit. I haven't even talked about Dubai now. We'll talk about that properly in a bit. But yeah, like people get bored. Like materialistic things do not make you happy. Like a bad periods where we have both our periods of flying. Then materialistic things.
I seen a post on Shred Fast as well. By the way, Shred Fast smashing it. Brandon Liverpool, you know. But basically, I seen him about like the branding in your stage of life, because I was like that, like the past. You know, even since I was like 24, 25 now, it's just like branding doesn't mean nothing. I'm not saying don't go and do it, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean nothing, you know what I mean? If you're scraping a barrel off your wages or whatever income you're at, think about how much you're saving at the end of the year and then investing
even if you're on a good dough, right? Yeah. Why spend all that money just to look good when you're really not on?
Unlimited dough,
you're not on that much dough.
What if you've got unlimited now? It's only about anyone.
That's what I'm saying. No, even if you're on no saving, you're on a good job, like 30, 40k, yeah. That's a good job. That's very good money.
What is like the low? What's the average? What's the average rich person in England? You know,
I think that I'm not too sure. The 1%'s like 150k. I think.
So is that the average? Well, the 1%.
Yeah, I think so. But like, even if you're on 40, 50k, lad, if you just invest even 10% of that a month, lad. into like, it doesn't even have to be crypto, it could be something more safe, S&P 500, that's the biggest that has been turning returns 10% since 1928, because it's the 500 biggest companies in America. Even put it into something safer, get financial investment, don't be wasting your money constantly trying to buy things and just keep up them, because them materialistic things don't make you happy, and then you end up in that life circle of doing that.
The man in the Dior hoodie.
The goals, freedom, the goals, freedom.
The man in the Dior hoodie. You're on that. Yeah, the special occasion.
This is weird, bro.
The special occasion.
This was aim for, bro. It was. This is aim for, bro. You're on it. That's what it is, man.
I'll be wearing mine next week.
You could. But, yeah, lad, that's what I'm saying. It's
no, it is. You're all right. You're all right. We both like that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just staying away from, like, just...
We used to be the same, lad. I was the worst when I was younger, lads. Used to be buying, like, on 18, buying 4-ton Givenchy tops and that, lads. On here, who the fuck do I think I was?
My father, man. Who
do I think I was,
Cartiers at that stage, and they're still sitting there. That's an investment in itself, like, they're still, like, always going to be there. Like, the way
that,
no, but shouldn't I got a watch, though, shouldn't I? When I just spent all that money, like, invest in a watch. Why haven't you got that watch? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Properly investments that you need to actually be on and what you're learning when you're an age, like, but that's another thing why I can't wait to show you Dubai, to be honest, like, you've never been, have you?
Buy them, bro. It's fucking. So yeah, guys. So yeah, we'll give you a little bit of a little season to buy. So obviously, as we say, us Ombre Tea Trades collaborating. To buy.
Sponsor really, isn't it? That's
the thing. Sponsor, but collaboration.
Yeah, man.
Going on the 7th of February for I'm coming on Sunday.
I'm there for a week, mate.
I'm
maybe
only
longer.
Coming on a day.
See what happens.
But yeah, for the 5 days we've got planned so far. Just to give you a bit of an insight on some of the activities, obviously there is a Sheik yacht involved. That's why I'm.
That's the main thing, really. And obviously, the activities.
Yeah, but no, we've got a lot more.
It's all getting float basically, so everyone's gonna be able to see the movie after it. Like, we just want to sort of just go over there and just have a little. You know, we haven't been away for what, like a year now. We're normally everywhere, aren't we?
Bro.
Been how long?
Been on a plane since 2019.
Basically 2019, we haven't been away properly.
Drove.
This is like a detox though as well. It's not going to be a mad holiday in it. Maybe the Friday we're probably going to be fucked up, aren't we? But through the week,
most of the days,
you know, we're getting the cars. We got what the cars have with the Lambos.
Exactly,
like,
we've got
a nice little experience. I'm jumping out of a plane.
Not gonna lie to you guys, I'm fucking. This is my head's been over the fucking. I can't understand myself. I'm just a normal
hard
kid.
Hard work pays off.
I'm a normal kid from Booton. Obviously, as I say, this is all getting sponsored and funded by our investors. You know what I mean? But like, it's going to be a proper enjoyable experience just to have a taste of lifestyle, because you know we'll get there eventually.
Gonna give back as well. Like before the yacht, we're gonna the yacht.
Leave that. Let them see that.
No, yeah, that's a surprise.
Let them see that.
This is my problem sometimes. Slip the tongue. That's why with the DJ, the headlines, no one's not getting announced. No one's knowing just yet because
don't worry, we've got a lot in store for you.
Got a lot in store, haven't we? It's gonna be loads of things.
Yeah, lads, fucking. After that, that lockdown, all that changed the serious people out, didn't it? Because like I remember, obviously, as I say, we were going out 4 times a week, and then we were literally, me and you were doing 2 workouts a day in the docks. And to put this into context as well for other people, at that time, because we ran out of money, we were staying in it. Because we were doing well, we were staying in a nice penthouse in town. And then one hour money ran out, we literally didn't have a penny. And we were getting fucking food packages off our Martin supporters and everything, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way it goes, but we never stopped grinding. The brand's still
gym twice
flying, a day. It wasn't even gym, bro. We were going down the docks and doing home workouts. Home workouts every day, bro. And like, me personally, I've obviously always been in and out of the gym, and like, I know you say I got you into it, but I've always been a bit in and out of it. But like, that was the time that sort of got me consistent, and I feel like
change your life, haven't you?
A lot of
exactly. Look at the Sazi years ago, that's like you're fresh now.
It's not even that as well. Like, it's the mental side. Like, there's so many days where you're just sitting there. I know now, 2 days in, lad, if I don't work out, I'm feeling moody and depressed, and I know it's because I need a workout. And a lot of people out there who sit there and they say like, anxiety is a main issue. I get it. I completely understand. But I guarantee if a lot of people just had a normal routine,
sleep as well,
good sleep,
meditate in an ice bath,
big thing,
an ice shower,
exercise,
100%,
and a healthy diet, I guarantee.
Invest in your brain. Invest in your brain more. Reading, like, just like, I feel like more and more
that's what we got into
doing it.
Because it was our time. A lot of people use that lockdown as let's get fucked up every day. We used it to better ourselves, and people need to like start looking at their own life decisions to be like, it's the time I'm using, I need to use it more wisely instead of using it into things of enjoyment. Because short-term gratification is not the goal, lads. It's long-term. Do you know what I mean?
It's even like addiction, isn't it? You know what I mean? We were addicted to all sorts, lad.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Not even that heavy, like, but there was, lad.
Yeah, there was that. Like the lifestyle we lived over. I was like, it's easy to fall into it, lad. Like when
Craving a drink, can't you, all the time?
Let's be honest,
not every day, like, but I mean on the weekend. Craving weekends more than through the week. I'd be in the gym every single day, staying disciplined, but through the weekend,
we're like addicts in that way. In terms, like we needed that sort of lifestyle, that night out, that thrill, that you know what I mean. We
living in Spain, that Ibiza, just nonsense.
But that's because we beat. As I say, how many summers have you done?
7 seasons.
I've done 4, but I don't know what I mean. Like that in itself changes you. And say we'll talk more about Ibiza later on.
What a place to network, though, man. That's where we are today, really.
It is made us as people, lads. Made us as people.
Even going back to like exit days over there and exit days at home.
But then, lad, that's what I'm saying. And like that, I feel like, you know, when we were meant to be going into all this big time events before the lockdown, I feel like we weren't ready. I feel like we weren't ready for it, you know what I mean? So I feel like that was just like a fucking something, like a sign or something, lad, to say, like, and then we got ourselves in peak condition through lockdown. And then I'd look at last year. Like,
was that when the New Year's Eve had us sold out, cancelled?
Yeah.
We had the Furies not coming down, we had everyone coming down, the Frankums, everyone.
But look at last year, lads. 18 events.
28 over 2 years.
18 events, 4 different cities, 4 different venues in the space of 8 months, lads. Sold out. Like, well, I'd say about 90% of them. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I need this do biology to chill out, man.
That's travelling takes it on you, lads.
There was that driving, that 19.5-hour driving.
We were doing coaches at one point.
Nah, but I mean, we going to...
No,
that was the year before.
Last year, like when we were doing 18 events, you know, we were doing like last year, man.
It was London, Essex.
We were in London once a month for like since April. Every month.
Some weekends were out the events, sometimes I was, do you know what I mean?
Which?
Sometimes going to London, like, just not on an event space as well.
But exactly. But like, I went to London, like, obviously once a month or Essex when it was once a month, lad, and like, all that travelling and then partying and then like, obviously we're the guys in the party that you've got to like...
You're still being disciplined in the gym and that though, weren't we?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're that guys in the party that where you've got to like... You've got to put that face on and be like active, like, yes, let's party. You know, when you're doing that many events, then it's catching up, lad. It's hard to put that persona on, innit? Yeah. And this is what people don't realise. Like, as we said, the amount of times people... let's see how many times that people say to us when we go... like, what do you do? And we go, like, events, and you go, how'd you get into that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how'd you
get on a one-way flight and just learn the sticks, you know what I mean? Network and just follow your dreams. It could be anything now, you know, when you say, like, how'd you get into that? I just mean in general, like, if you just put yourself out there and take risks, like, it's a big factor, you know what I mean? Like, taking a risk. Like, I got a flight to Ibiza when I think I was 19, got a full-time job in an accounting firm, but I was doing like Rubik's events beforehand, just promoting, because I always wanted to be a promoter, but I had a proper job at the time, like in this insurance firm, and then got made permanent, got me finance on car for 4 years, and then Cafe Mambo's, Christian Boyle asked me to say, you know, do you want to come to Mambo's for the summer? I was like, fucking 100%, you know what I mean? And then I was told before I got permanent, I just said, I'm going to Ibiza. And you're like, what do you mean going to Ibiza? Your mum was like, why are you going to Ibiza? You know, you've just got your car on finance. I'm just like, I'm going for it, you know what I mean? And since then, I haven't looked back, lad. Not just saying I've been doing well off Ibiza, but I've been networking and just building a pot. Man, changed my life, man.
Not all of us, because when you took that first step, that's when we all took that first step.
It's getting out your comfort zone. Like, I got that one-way flight, not knowing what was like going on. And then even the worst factor was like, 3 weeks into it, I had an apartment on my own, and then like I had my mate involved who I met over there, and one night he said, come out before the Ushuaia open, and slipped all, like all my hand there, stitches all down my feet. Man, but I couldn't work for like 4 weeks. I was in a wheelchair, so I couldn't even go to the Ushuaia open, so I was fuming. I didn't go to the hospital, I had some bird in the bed at the time, lad. I just strapped my sock up and thought, fuck this, I'm not letting this girl go. And obviously the next day, the next day, the hospital said you should come in straight away because the slip was that bad. I had to go to Mambo's and said, I've spent all this money for the apartment for this many months, like I need to, you know, we need this job. And they're like, all right, we'll keep you on. So I thought I was losing my job at the time. And then basically, like, when I went back, they were like, you're out your apartments, we had no gaff. I had to jump hotel to hotel, spending money with no money. I was just finding, when I say no money, it was just literally burning. Like I didn't know, every day I could have been going home, just surviving, bro. Like doing, you know what I mean? It's just a mad journey, lad, at the time, lad. And then washing me stuff in a bath after music on still up, lad, absolutely pinging out of my head.
That's the shit that makes you, bro, you know, like that's what,
like that kid's married, that kid's got 2 kids now, lad. Fuck that,
I feel like a lot of people, lad, just too comfortable, lad, and that, and like, soon as the slightest inconvenience happens, lad, sometimes a lot of people sort of like, do you know what I mean? Whereas like you need to lad, you never feel better than when you go through them situations. You know, when you come out the other end,
lad. On knees, man,
you know, when you come out through the end of them situations, lad, it's like, you feel new, lad, like you literally feel like you level up, lad, and you're like a new person, lad, from coming out from a hard situation, because you can know you can go through it.
Been learning a lot, just not in the lifestyle though, just watching podcasts over the past like 2 years, lad, probably been a bit longer, like your Rogans and then these other people coming up learning so much from them, because like, you can just get yourself out there and just have a conversation, lad, like it's just for us, innit? Exactly. You know what I mean? That's why we're doing it. It's just like, it's nice learning different traits and seeing these people develop, like watching certain podcasts of certain people. You know what I mean? Like the Nelk boys are a big impact.
Lad,
not following what you're saying,
lad.
People might have opinions on them. Even like our own people, like Paddy doing that thing on the podcast, great lad. You know what I mean? Even like Paddy Lacey and stuff like that. Like people who we've known and who were just smashing life. Do you know what I mean? There's a few people that we could name, lad. It's nice to see, lad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is nice to see. It's what you always want from people, lad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.